I joined Glints about a year ago to lead the establishment of a new function within the company, which was a regional business operations and operational excellence function. Now, Glints had obviously had operations in place before, and we had focused a lot on operational excellence, but it had been done in more of a bottoms-up manner, focused at the country level in our core markets, and we had not really ever established a key function around that area. So I came in and sort of was tasked with this very tall order to sort of 3 to 4x our efficiency, our operating efficiency in our tech-enabled recruitment business over the course of 1 to 2 years. And I think there were a number of challenges that we were facing as a team when I took on that mission, related to how to set up and prioritize such an initiative for success. So some of the challenges, just to paint the picture, were how should we set up this strategy and sequence progress? How should we prioritize and order which challenges to tackle first across all of the different operational excellence areas that we could choose to focus on? How did we know which ones were the quickest wins and which ones were the important but perhaps not immediately urgent wins? One of the biggest challenges that we faced, and one of the reasons why I was excited to work with xto10x, was we were really sort of thinking about how should we be measuring and tracking and driving improvement in that performance and in our progress over time. So how do you break down a big mission like 3xing operational efficiency into something that is much more sort of easy to tackle? We partnered with the operational excellence team at 10x, so Niraj, Pawan, and others, on a series of 5 workshops and sort of collaborative discussion sessions, really focused on laying the initial foundations and groundwork for how we should be thinking about different pillars of the ops excellence strategy. So we had one which was sort of an introductory masterclass on ops excellence, and then we had a series of additional workshops on topics such as how to scale your people engine in a hypergrowth stage of a startup, how to optimize supply-demand planning, how to establish customer excellence as a key pillar of an operational strategy. And what was great was we were also able to tailor some bespoke, more tailored sessions to what we were looking for at Glints as well. So we did one in particular focused on the org structure, the optimal org structure for driving operational excellence within the company. An extremely effective way at accelerating our progress and accelerating our learning curve, just getting us off on the right track when it came to really setting up these different pillars of the strategy for success. And the second was it was very tactical and practical. So it wasn't just sort of a theoretical workshop in which high-level best practices were shared, but we were given very concrete diagnoses, toolkits, best practices that we could put into practice from day zero. And actually, we were encouraged to do that, to come into the sessions with an initial diagnosis of what was going well and what wasn't going well. From my perspective, there were a few things that really stood out about the engagement with xto10x. I think number one was just how highly contextualized the sessions felt and the speed at which the xto10x team was able to effectively diagnose and pinpoint the most critical issues or factors for us to be considering, despite having fairly minimal engagement with our team prior to those sessions. So it really didn't feel like you're just getting a textbook boilerplate session, but it felt like you were coming into these sessions to learn and understand the best practices, but that throughout the entire engagement, those were being translated in real time into what was most relevant for us at Glints. I think the second was I felt a very genuine sense of collaboration and thought partnership with the team throughout. So there was a continuous ongoing dialogue about which sessions would offer the highest impact for the teams, what topics should we prioritize. So it very much felt like a joint endeavor where there was strong buy-in and trust on both sides. And the third, I think, was just the richness of the experience that the team brought to the table and the way in which they were able to draw from their very relevant experience scaling Flipkart or other hypergrowth companies to really translate those insights into something that was very relevant for us at Glints. I think what the sessions really gave us was some high-level principles and frameworks that we were able to put into practice immediately, and that have really laid the foundation for what we're doing now. So one example would be, the need to sort of get very granular instrumentation over operating metrics at a different segment basis and more granular levels. That's something that has that was already in practice prior to the sessions, but that we have really accelerated progress on in light of the discussions that we had. So I think that has underpinned everything that we're doing on ops excellence, and it was very much emphasized and reinforced in the engagement that we had. But then on specific pillars that we did, for example, the voice of customer or the customer excellence workshop, that really did have an impact as well in terms of informing how we chose to approach the problem and what we decided to put into place. So as a very concrete example, one of the key recommendations was to focus on increasing the volume of transactional customer feedback data we were collecting as opposed to just relational feedback. And that's something that the team has since prioritized and made plans to execute on. So I think there were very real operational and tactical results that came from the engagement, in addition to obviously the very valuable kind of overarching insights that the team gave. I would absolutely recommend working with the team at xto10x for any operational leader. I think what I would really emphasize is really the richness of the experience that the leaders bring and how quickly they're able to grasp your own operating context and translate that experience into real impact for your team. So truly that thought partnership and that analytical lens they're able to bring to your organization's most pressing problems.